Elon Musk sat alone in his small rented apartment, staring at the blank wall in front of him. He had no money, no job, and no prospects. It was a far cry from where he had been just a few years earlier, when he was the founder of PayPal, a multi-billion-dollar company. But after being ousted from his own company, Elon found himself in a difficult position. He had always been an entrepreneur at heart, and he knew that he needed to find a way to start another company. But with no funds, no investors, and no team, it seemed like an impossible task. For weeks, Elon sat in his apartment, brainstorming ideas and trying to come up with a plan. He read everything he could about startups, and he talked to anyone who would listen about his ideas. But despite his best efforts, he couldn't seem to make any progress. One day, as he was walking down the street, he saw a group of kids playing with a remote-controlled car. Suddenly, it hit him: he could start a company that made electric cars. At first, the idea seemed crazy. He had no experience in the automotive industry, and he had no idea how he would compete with the big players like GM and Ford. But the more he thought about it, the more he realized that this was his chance. He spent the next few months learning everything he could about electric cars. He read about the technology, the industry, and the competition. He talked to experts and attended conferences. And slowly but surely, he started to develop a plan. He knew that he couldn't do it alone, so he started reaching out to people who shared his vision. He found engineers who were passionate about electric cars, and he convinced them to join his team. He met with investors and pitched his idea, even though he had no track record and no money to show for it. But somehow, he managed to convince people to believe in him. He raised enough money to start the company, and he began building his team. They worked tirelessly, day and night, to develop the first prototype of the Tesla Roadster. The road was bumpy, and there were many setbacks along the way. But Elon refused to give up. He poured every ounce of his energy and every penny of his money into the company. And eventually, his hard work paid off. Today, Tesla is one of the most successful and innovative companies in the world. Elon Musk is a billionaire, a visionary, and a hero to millions of people around the world. And it all started when he had no money, no job, and no prospects. But he refused to give up on his dreams.